Hello everyone, my name is MrNJersey and welcome to my channel. Now in this video we are back with the next episode of the survival series here in Stormworks version 1. Now for those of you that have been following along with the survival series, you're probably wondering, why are you back at the south terminal here when we ended up in the last episode finishing over at Spycake's terminal? Well, I went to go and load the save and unfortunately all my vehicles were gone. I think my save got corrupt. So what we've had to do is we had to go back 2 saves. So we're now still back at the south area here, or actually at the north area of the Sawyer, and we're going to carry on from here. Now, the last episode we managed to go and do a whole bunch of things with our train. We did a little bit of a test run. We loaded up some containers. We found some issues. We found some things that really worked well. So in this episode, I want to finish off by getting this all ready to go. I also want to work on the trailer. I've got a couple things I want to improve on the trailer, like for example some buffers, and also want to get a charging station for our little vehicle, and also maybe some more fuel, and then recharging throughout the whole train so that nothing dies. So let's start with this. Now the last problem we had with this train was we were unable to change the signals. So batteries on, let's see, so 440 for the signal, and in theory if we were to press 1 we should change the tracks. Get this over here, let's see. So you can see 1 is not changing the tracks at all. I don't know what's going on, but something must have got disconnected. So let's bring this back into the workbench and let's have a look and see what's going on. So this is where we enter our frequency, and that's not connected to anything, so that's probably why. Let's go and see, where's our radio? It's down here. Okay, cool. So we've got that now. So let's go and spawn that in and let's see if that will actually work now. So I jump inside, up the ladder. I've done a little bit of painting, by the way. Some of you are noticing that something's a little different. I've changed the painting design a little bit, just made it a little bit different. I think it looks a little better and also matches my trailers. So battery's on. Let's jump in the compact seat. 440 is our radio signal. 1. Still nothing. Oh wait, it might help if I turn it on. Nothing. In direction forwards. Still nothing. Maybe let's go forwards a bit. If we maybe get a little bit closer, maybe that will help. Put the brakes on. There we go. That's working now. Perfect. So we can actually change tracks, which is very useful. Let's just go and throw our brakes on here. So what else is there on this train that we need to fix? I don't think there actually is anything. I'm happy with the map. We had all our controls. All of this was working as far as I'm correct. I think we might need to connect our generators. Those things might need to be connected. Auto drive was working. Signal frequency was working. I did want some way of sending the brakes through to the other trailers that we were carrying. So I need to have some way of transferring the brake power over through the connector. So I think that would be a good thing to do. Now I think I'm already sending our logic or our data out of this, which we are. So we could probably just take that data, yeah, to the radio. Oh, we are sending it. Okay, so we can just read it from this connector on our carriages. Cool. So that takes care of a lot of things there. So I'm not too worried. Alright, so I think that's fine for this train. I just wanted to double check the generators and make sure those are all working. So I'm just going to find the logic for this panel, which should be, let's see, so it's coming from panel over here. So just here at the top, and let's make sure it's got the generators on it. Okay, so the generators are connected, which is fine, so I'm not really worried too much about that. Great, so I'm pretty happy with the rest of everything that's going on inside here now. So we can go and save this, and let's load up one of the trailers or the flatbeds, and let's carry on working on that. Okay, so we've loaded up the flatbed that actually carries the little truck or car on it. Now what I want to do is just to simplify things. I think I would like to actually spawn this with the truck on it, or the actual little container mover on it. So we're going to do that. Selection grid, open it up, and we're going to find it. And you can see we've just gone over here. I can then go and move it into place and just find a nice little location for it, of course, without it conflicting with anything. So about there will be fine. Paste it in. There we go. We can obviously go and drive it in and out if we want to. And then, as I said, I wanted to have some type of electrical charging station on this. So I'm thinking possibly here at the top, considering that Let's see what comes out and moves out here. So this is the beam that goes there. So we could actually just have something over here, to be fair. Something very, very simple where we would just go and add a connector, dairy. So one of recharging connector. So let's see. Let's go find an anchor. Go electrical anchor. Just stick it over there. We can even go over here and possibly grab a cable. Put a cable over here, like so. So then that means we can connect the cable to there, and then we can connect it to this vehicle, which I think we've already got a connector for, don't we, for recharging somewhere. Maybe we don't. Maybe I left it off. Or we can add one. Very simple. Just literally just plump one somewhere on the creation somewhere. So let's see. So maybe over here. Yeah, let's go and grab that. Grab an anchor. And we're going to stick a anchor just over here. I think will be fine for us. Make sure it's the same color. And make sure that that has got some electricity. So that is going to go directly to the battery, that we can recharge things. So where is the battery in its creation? There we go. So we've got our batteries just over there, and then this one needs to be sure that it goes to this battery. Now if we connect our train, it will connect to this battery. That one connects to the recharging. Yep, so we can do the recharging, which is cool. That will work, and that will charge there. And just double checking that it also goes through to the next car. Yeah, that looks like it's fine. Yep, it should all share its power. So that is pretty good. Okay, happy with that. Oh, one thing I said I wanted to do is I wanted to add buffers onto these carriages, because this thing was just hitting each other and it was just damaging everything very quickly. So we need to add some type of buffers. So we're going to delete these corner pieces off, and maybe delete that off, and we can put the buffers somewhere over here, possibly. So delete that off, delete that off. Let's see if we can go and get some shock absorbers. Let's see if I can find them. So we're going piston suspension is what they are called, ladies and gentlemen. So we put them over here, and then we can go and get some, let's see, we can get some, maybe some microcontrollers. Something just to make it look decent. So I have some ones already built that are like empty ones. There we go, 3x2s. Cool. Probably not the right size for what I wanted, but it will work. Put it over there and just increase the size of it. Let's go over there and there. Force it went completely the wrong way. There we go. Place that down there, and we can place the other one over there. Let's just go and spawn that. I just want to see how that looks. It looks funny or not. Okay, so it looks okay. I think I want to bring that out more, because you can see the connector will sit there, so this can come out like by 2 blocks. So let's just go and delete that, place that over there. And I don't think I can have that. Let's see, can I have it like here? No, it's going to interfere with the train wheel. Okay, so 1, 2, take that there, then 1, 2, grab it again, delete it off, put it over here, and then we can grab these. Like so, and like so. Cool. Now, if we wanted to, I guess we could even bring it out a little bit more. So we could go and extend it one more, like so. Make it like quite big, like that. That could work. So I'm going to do the same thing on the actual back of the trailer, and that should now hopefully protect us. I'm going to make them quite strong, and then that should protect us from anything hitting there. And we should have enough space then for this connector also to fit. Make sure, yep, I would say that's probably got enough space. Yeah, and that will then obviously go and couple against the other train car. It should have enough space. Cool, and that should give us enough breathing room just in case we hit anything with those. Okay, so I think I'm pretty happy with that. I think we might have had an issue with some lights before, so I'm just going to double check that everything is all operational. That looks all good to me. That spot, is that a spotlight? No, it's just a connector. Everything else looks pretty much fine for me here. Let's just go and break off. Let's push this whole thing all out. Then let's go and see what it's going to look like instead. Give ourselves a little bit more room here. Okay, so probably useful to have some brakes brakes on that by default. But let's go and put brake off. There we go. We could, in theory, come over here. I have a cable on my hand already. I do. Drop that cable. Pick up the new one, connect it over there, and then we could walk over there and get it connected there. So that would be recharging in theory, which is cool. And then if we wanted to power on, transport lock off, frame out, frame down, we can then disconnect that, store it over there, jump in here, turn the power on, burst out of here, nice and easy, and then we could go and load some cargo up. So that does work. I'm pretty happy with that. Battery does last quite a while too. And we can obviously, when we're finished, we can just come and drive it up in here. Brakes on, battery off. Cool, and that's all gone and turned off. We can get out, and then we can do some recharging. So attach it again, go to the other side, and do some recharging. So I'm happy with that little setup. And then once we're done, frame up, frame in, happy days, transport lock on, secure containers. Don't think we really need it. That light still isn't working there. That one too. Yeah, those aren't working because this is connected over there, so that's why I don't think the light is on. But that's fine. Cool, so I'm pretty happy with that. Let's go and despawn that. We can save it. Let me go into the normal flatbed where it's got 2 empty container slots. Okay, so we've got the flatbed container now, and I want to go and do the same thing with the pistons in the front, and just make sure that we have those pistons or buffers so that we don't end up damaging our whole train. We're going to go into the back to do the same thing, delete that extra block, delete that extra block. Let's get our piston suspension. Cool, so that is the buffers on the front and the back. I want to double check my electricity also, so electricity goes into there, gets passed through to the back one, so I'm happy with that. Let's see that everything is connected and working. So it looks like lights, switches, those all work. Yeah. That's pretty much saying when you're not connected, turn those on, which is fine. So yeah, I think everything looks fine. What I do want to do is I want to go on to both of the flatbeds, this one and the one we just finished with, and I need to enable the brakes for both of them so that the brakes actually go and turn on when we turn the brakes on the main vehicle. So I've already actually added a little extra node here, which is almost perfect. So we just need to obviously decrypt the information from our connector and then go and read it and then actually put it through onto the brakes, which is just over there. That should hopefully be pretty easy to do. I want to save this. I just need to go and check what channel we have the throttle and the brakes on, and then I'll get back and we'll carry on with that. Okay, so we're back with the actual flatbed that has the little truck on it, and we need to obviously go and read the composite data that we have from this electrical connector and then go and convert it over to the brakes. So I'm going to create a little microcontroller for this. So we're going to do flatbed brakes, okay. And we're going to go and take a composite in, and we're going to go and send out a number output. Okay, so that's going to be for the brakes. So brakes, great. And we also have then the slave system. Cool. Great, we can go and decrease the size of this. Perfect. Make sure that we go and do the logic part of this build. So we're going to go jump in. I've already got some stuff that I've just copied over from my master slave system. And we're pretty much reading the data on channel 2. When it goes into text that is between 0.1 and 0.1, then it's going to go and send a 1 value over to our brakes, and that's to our brakes. Very straightforward. Let's go and copy that and make sure we save it. And then we're going to close that off, go and find it in our inventory. And here it is right there, nice small little block, and we can place that wherever we want to. We could place it over here. We could find pretty much wherever we want to. I'm going to find a nice little spot underneath here and place it under here. So let's do 1 and 2, and there we go. Cool. So that's where the connection is. And as I said, we're literally going to read that data over to that, and then from that over to our actual on value over there. Now, it's only going to take that on value once we go and do the handbrakes. When we turn the handbrakes off, then it's going to start reading that composite value. Of course, if there's nothing on that composite value, then it's not going to turn the brakes on ever. So that is quite smart. Now, we do want to make sure that we take that data and send it back through into the other back car. So we're going to go over here and send it back to the next car. Okay, that's very important that we go and do that. So we're going to save this again. Let's go and do it to the regular flatbed, and then I think we can start spawning in and just double checking everything's working properly. Cool, so I'm going to start by spawning in the train. Once we spawn the train in, we can then move that out the way, and then we can slowly, one by one, start spawning in all the other things that we need. Now, I've got a remote controller, so I'm going to go over here, spawn that in. Everything's good. I should, in theory, be able to just do that and move this. Yeah, I can. Cool, so that is working. So we've got all the train direction stuff on. Let's jump out. Let's go and move this forwards. Bye-bye train. That's why I love having this remote controller, because now we don't need to do anything. We can just stand here, turn the brakes, move it a little bit forwards, keep on going please, and okay, stop it. So it's just over there now, and jump in, grab the next one, go and spawn that in, bring, so this we don't have to touch, we can do handbrakes off actually. Radio gain, train, reverse please, and we need you to pick up this. There we go, so it's picked it up. You can see the buffers are actually doing quite a good job. I like that. I like how the buffers there are touching, so hopefully we won't damage anything. Let's go forwards. Probably need to get the brakes on the container mover too, but that looks like it's okay. So let's go and bring that forwards. By the way, I've changed the speed of the remote controller, so you can see it really does move slowly. I was having a couple issues where it was jerking itself around too much. So I've changed the speed to be quite nice and slow when you're in a radio control mode. Cool, so we're going to stop it there. Let's go and spawn in the next one. Okay, remote controller again, brakes off. Let's go in reverse. Should get connected any second now. There we go. So it seems like it might be a little bit too... It must be a little bit too much of an ask for it to do that much. It looks like it's fine though. If I go forwards, maybe that's too much of an ask. Okay, well if it's too much of an ask, then we can go back in here and just move this back one, like so. Done. Then come here and do this. So we're just going to move it back by one. Nothing special. That should then alleviate any issues that we have. Done and done. Okay, cool. So that shouldn't freak out now if we go and spawn in. We only have to do the front one. I think the back one will be fine. Let's just make sure we save that. Flatbed one, spawn it in. Okay, and brakes off. Train on, reverse please. There we go. So yeah, that looks much happier now. That distance. Yes, I know it's not symmetrical, but it will be fine. Let's go and bring it forwards, and let's spawn another one of these in. And then we can start loading things on it and seeing if it's actually going to work or not. Going please. Now one thing I was thinking, I think that someone can improve on, is possibly adding making use of this space over here. I was kind of thinking about it, and I was thinking maybe to add some fuel tanks so that you could, in theory, connect this all up, and then you could have like spare fuel in here and you would just use it from your locomotive. I thought that was a cool idea, but I don't know. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to leave only these two, and I'm going to put another locomotive at the end. I want to see if this is actually going to work. I'm going to spawn another locomotive in. Don't know if this is going to work or not, but in theory it should, because if I press 8, once we can go in here, turn this one on, and master slave, this one's going to be in slave, direction is forwards, and in theory, if I go back, yep, can you see, look at that, that's working. Huh? That's cool. Move it forwards. That one's moving forwards. Stop it. That one stops. Nice. Okay, so we now have a fully master-slave system. I'm happy with that. So two cars. Oh, big. Oh, that's cool. I want to drive this now. And we're going to move forwards. We're going to go and then back ourselves into this area. And we're going to start picking up some containers and things. So let's go in here. Everything looks fine. Let's just go and test to see if we can actually get some speed out of this now. And the brakes do work. It still seems like we're sitting around 5, which doesn't make too much sense to me. Possibly still some issue with the brakes. So to go and fix the issue with the brakes, what I'm thinking is just to go and put a small little new controller on here that will go and literally just sit as a pretty much new logic. So we're going to go and say whatever the brakes are of the train, that's what we want to send through to actual system. It's a little bit easier than going through the whole limited set speed master slave stuff just in case. So we're going to go into our controller and we're just going to pretty much undo this and just pretty much do it the other way around. So output, and this will be a input, and we're literally just going to go and do this, delete this off, go and write to it. So we're going to convert that number into composite. Right here, we're going to write it on, let's do channel 1. Very easy, there we go, done. Update that, make sure I copy that for later. And we're just going to go now, and instead of taking whatever we had for our master slave, we're going to send just that through there. And then whatever was going to our brakes, which is just there, is going to go sent through to our brakes now. Okay, very easy. We're going to save that off. We're going to go and load our flatbed, and we're going to go and take that little block that we added, put a new one in, and now we click on that and we just do the complete opposite. So we're just going to go in there, put this as an input, put this as an output, and instead of writing, we are going to be reading this time. So read number, channel 1, go, send that across, happy days, update it again. And then we're going to go and take that from here. And then from there, we're going to go to brakes, which is there. So that's the on value. And that's going to go across. That's all pretty much good. And just make sure we do the same thing for the rear. Yep, that's all connected. Let's just double check. So brakes there, and then brakes the back. And then the composite from here into there. Okay, so this was the flatbed with nothing on it, and let's do the same thing with the flatbed with the car. So we're going to go over here, delete this one, put the new one down, go into it, invert. Actually, let's see, no, we don't need to invert anything. We can just spawn it in from our connector to our brakes like that. We should hopefully this time be done with it. Hopefully, let's go and save that as this one. So I'm going to go and spawn everything in, and hopefully the brakes will now work. Alrighty, so we've just gone and loaded everything up. I've got 3 of the flatbeds, one of them obviously with the container mover / loader. So let's go and just test to see if this is all working. So we're going to jump in here. Let's do speed forwards, and we should be able to get to a decent speed now. Yes, there we go. Perfect. So that's working. We are going to obviously change tracks here. We'll reverse in and we'll start loading up some cargo, which is cool. So we're doing 40, but I'm happy with that. We're going to start slowing ourselves down here. Going to clear the first lights. And I think that's probably going to be enough. Let's put it into reverse. And do negative, what, negative 40? Okay, that's quite fast. That should be fine. Make sure we actually are going in the right direction. Looks like we're fine. When going in the right direction, I'm just going to start putting the speed back. Put the brakes on. Let's see where we are actually before we celebrate too much. Okay, that looks fine. We've gotten into the theoretically the wrong one, but that should be okay for us. So we'll just push back a little bit. I'm probably going to switch over to a remote controlled mode now. just because I don't want to be inside the train when I'm coming this close to something that can damage us. So I'm happy with the buffers though. I think the buffers are going to be really useful. Let's just do a still standing shot and let's bring it back here. Now we could add another locomotive here at the back to give us a little bit more oomph. But I think that one there will be enough. Bring it back. We can offload our little container mover. Bring this back as much as we can. Then we can start loading some cargo. Pretty cool. Here. Not slowing it down. Oh, I think that should be about fine. Slow it down over there. And yeah, that was good. So I want to do that. Let's jump over here now. And let's go and throw the power on. Let's do, I think frame out, no, transport lock off, frame out, frame down. Cool. Let's go and get my vehicle out of here, which should be nicely charged. Reverse off. Happy days. Handbrake on, jump out of it. Let's go and put this back on. We're gonna go frame up, frame in. Go all slotted away, transport lock on, power off, and let's start moving some containers. Of course, it's just starting to rain here in Stormworks, as it usually would do when you want to start doing things. It always happens. So let's just go and make a little bit of a U-turn here, and let's start loading some cargo on. So guys, I'm gonna load some cargo on. You've seen me done the cargo bit in the last episode, and yeah, so you guys have seen me do it, so I'm not going to obviously do that with you guys. I'm going to load some cargo, and I think I'm going to do a final little drive up to the Arctic maybe with this cargo. But guys, I think that's probably a great place to end this video, and at the same time, I think that's a great place to end off this survival series. This survival series has been really fun. It's been around for a couple months now. We've built small boats, we've built large boats, we've built container movers, we built trains, we built flatbeds, we built all these cool different things, and I really hope that the survival series has been somewhat inspiring or giving you guys some ideas on what you should be using for your own survival series, or just being like a little bit of a guide really to help you. We've been some funny moments, there've been some cool moments, there've been some sad moments where we've lost things, boats have sank, boats have been managed to get back up off the water. So we've had a lot of cool moments, and I really want to start a new survival series, especially with the modular engines. I think it'll be really interesting to try and start a new survival series with that, and maybe do something a little bit different for the next survival series. I will be running some polls in my YouTube channel, so definitely keep an eye on those so you guys can vote for what you want to see in the next survival series, or just let me know in the comments of this video. Either way, let me know. I will be releasing every single one of my creations from the survival series, from the small little orange boat to my large big one to all these little container things and this little vehicle. I'll put them all over on the workshop where you guys download. Links will be in my video description. So if you want to go and download those, play with them, or even just use them in your own survival series, maybe modify them, tweak them, go for it. Links will be in the description below as always. And to end the survival series off with, I hope you have enjoyed this and found some entertaining and informative as always. And until the next season, we will see you then.